on your side with how local organizations are helping parents. Some parents in Richmond County might be in a pinch after finding out their student will be learning from home next week, but that's where the Family Y is coming in to help. Students can come here and set up shop if their parent can't stay home with them. The program is available at the Wilson Y and the Augusta South Family Y. Both locations are busy sanitizing and prepping. They say they have experience under their belts with COVID precautions after hosting a similar summer camp a few months ago. The price varies based on the location and membership status, but ranges from $95 to $150 for the week. The price includes breakfast, lunch, a snack, as well as childcare from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Kids will be set up at these tables to work on school assignments for 2 different 2-hour sessions a day, but there's also some fun in store in between.
Whether it's going outside and playing on the playground, whether it's doing arts and crafts inside, singing, dance, games, that kind of thing, will continue to keep them happy, and they'll be exhausted by the time they get home for sure.
Registration is open and online, and coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from other organizations stepping up to help parents with different price points in mind. In Augusta, Celeste Springer on your side.
Okay, day 2 of the Masters. The order would take effect January 11th. Meanwhile, the new administration is scheduled to begin 20th.
The IRS is racing to rich people who have not gotten stimulus checks yet. The deadline is November 21st. It sent 9 million letters in September to people who may have missed out on the $1,200 payment. Those who don't normally file tax returns have to register online. And for anyone who misses the November 21st deadline, you can still get your money next year after filing your 2020 tax returns.
Thick mud and debris covering many villages in the Philippines after a typhoon causes extensive damage and flooding. The rising water sending people up to their rooftops. It nearly killed 40 people. Thousands of people have been rescued. The waters have mostly receded now, but what a huge cleanup there is. The typhoon struck yesterday morning, toppling power poles, trees, damaging homes. Almost 2 million homes are without power.
COVID cases in Europe showing... Tomorrow is World Diabetes Day, a day to raise awareness for the common condition that affects 34 million people here in the U.S.
And controlling blood sugar is critical to prevent serious complications. Nancy Chen introduces us to a father who's making some big lifestyle changes after his diagnosis.
Roger Hare is getting the word out about diabetes. The 46-year-old was diagnosed last year, but he was pre-diabetic for years. He doesn't want others to do what he did and ignore it.
I kind of get emotional when I talk about this. My first reaction to the doctor was on the phone. I said, these numbers can't be right.
His A1C test, which measures blood sugar levels, was 12.7. Anything over 6.5 is diabetic, and he was experiencing many symptoms: blurred vision, excessive thirst, and fatigue.
When I was diagnosed, I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I was coming home and, Daddy's tired.
It is the leading cause of blindness, kidney failure, amputation, heart disease, and stroke. Really?
Dr. Robert Gabe is with the American Diabetes Association. He says the consequences of diabetes can be prevented by controlling the ABCs: A1C, or blood sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol. Only a quarter of adults meet the goal for all three.
Now, more than ever, getting your blood sugar in check is critical. People with diabetes face much higher risks for severe complications from COVID-19.
People whose blood sugars are in worse control, the ones that do the worst if they develop COVID. If you look at all the people who have died in the U.S. from COVID, 40% of them have diabetes.
Roger says he knows it can be a lot to handle when you first get the diagnosis.
You're not alone. It's one of the steps in the process, is understanding and feeling overwhelmed to the point where you want to make a change.
And that's what he did. He started taking medication, tracking what he eats, and exercising. He dropped 40 pounds and is sticking to his healthier lifestyle. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
The American Diabetes Association says while screening is typically recommended starting at age 45, certain risk factors could lead to needing to be screened earlier.
And you can go to the American Diabetes Association website to take their risk test. Okay, more news ahead after we have a live look outside.
Or call 1-800-STANTON.
More than 300 drones lit up the sky over South Korea's capital today. The government saying it's aimed at providing comfort and hope to those battling with COVID. The drones form multicolored designs of all things COVID related, including people wearing masks. The event was held above the park built to host the 1988 Summer Olympics.
Pretty amazing view there. Okay, Nintendo going back in time. They've revived one of their oldest portable handhelds from the 80s, the Game & Watch. It came before the Game Boy and plays 3 games all related to Super Mario. The 40th anniversary edition of the Game & Watch retails for $50. It's on sale now for a limited time.
Some news we could all use, I guess. Now is the chance to live a bachelor kind of lifestyle. And since the dating show has not been filming due to the pandemic, the Bachelor Mansion is up for rent as an Airbnb.
Yes, it is. 7 bedrooms, 8.5 baths, a pool, a couple of jacuzzis. The mansion rental will set you back a steep $6,000 per night. And that does not include any kind of meet and greet with the host, Chris Harrison. And you have to supply your own roses too, Sierra.
Right.
Hunting forecast.
A tall task for poll workers across Georgia and here at home recounting all votes in the presidential election by hand. Those workers are done for the day in Richmond and Columbia County, but there's still a lot left to do. Sydney Heiberger dives into everything that has to be done for this recount.
What you'll see behind me here at the Bell Auditorium is 40 tables, more than a dozen poll workers, and nearly 88,000 ballots, all of which are going to be counted one by hand. On the very first day of Georgia's very first statewide elections audit,
I see the very tedious process.
only about 5 of the 40 tables in the Bell Auditorium were filled with ballot counters.
They're going through that stack of 50, and they're simply sorting them out based on what they see.
Richmond County Elections Director Lynn Bailey says that's because the purpose of the first day was just to get everyone situated. But she predicts once all 40 tables are full, it will only take about 12 hours to hand count all 87,530 ballots.
The whole point of this audit is to validate the software that tabulated on election night. Will there be differences? Probably.
Bailey says she suspects there will be instances where humans pick up on votes the machine didn't, or vice versa. But in her experience, she says she doesn't believe any of those discrepancies will change the outcome of the elections. It's why people like Augusta Commissioner Ben Hassan don't agree with this full manual audit.
I view it as being a little bit extreme, and thus far there was no indication. The Secretary of State said he didn't find any irregularities at this point.
Extreme or not, the counting has started.
The observers are very meticulous in terms of what they're doing in the observations.
And they only have until Wednesday night to get it finished. In Augusta, Sydney Heiberger, on your side.
And right next to the Bell, where workers were counting those ballots, John Ossoff was in the jail. Raffensperger says he has a team of investigators looking into every allegation of illegal voting and fraud.
Bond denied for 2 of the 3 men in Georgia charged in the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery. This was day 2 of a bail hearing for Travis and Gregory McMichael. The father and son face a total of 9 charges in the death of Arbery. William Roddy Bryan is the 3rd suspect in this case. He's the man who recorded the viral video. He was previously denied bond. A lot of parents caught in limbo with all Richmond County schools going completely virtual starting next week.
Exactly, and we wanted to find out what your options are if you still have to go to work, as a lot of people do. Celeste Springer's on your side and went around to see what's available to you.
We all know the term learn from home, but for many working parents, it just simply isn't an option. Next week, these tables will be filled with students, a blessing for their parents.
So when we found out yesterday about Richmond County going to learn from home for the next week, we immediately went into action to start our virtual learning camp starting on Monday.
Parents can drop their children off at the Wilson Y or Augusta South Y, and no need to worry about packing a lunch.
We will have breakfast, lunch, and a healthy snack served during that time frame.
The price for the camp next week ranges from $90 to $150 depending on what location you choose, but financial assistance is available. The Boys and Girls Club offering a similar option, but slots also limited.
Our numbers are a little bit limited because we do have to allow space for social distancing.
Registration is $25, and they say it's easy to get started.
They can just visit our website. It's bgccsra.org, and there is a button they can click there that'll take them straight to our registration portal, and they can do everything online.
The camp has computers students can use and provides them with a lunch and a snack. They say something so small as a place to work and a meal can go a long way.
It's our mission. We're here to serve as many kids as possible, and especially those who need us most. Those are the ones that we're committed to. And right now, this is a time where they need us most, and it just happens to be all of the kids in Richmond County that are out of school.
The registration for the Boys and Girls Club and Family Y camps are online. You can find the links to those on our website, as well as participating locations at wrdw.com. In Augusta, Celeste Springer on your side.
In Lincoln County, all students in the district started learning from home today, but the high school is still playing their football game tonight. It's a home game against Greene County High School. We asked the superintendent there about that, Dr. Samuel Light. He told us the schools were closed after elementary students were potentially exposed to COVID-19 at a non-school event. He says since the game involves high school students, it will go on. We asked if he's worried. He says he's always worried, but he believes they're safe.
Parents in Aiken County, a deadline tonight if you want to have your child change from learning in person. If your child is in the Aiken Innovate virtual learning program, today is the last day you can decide if you want your child to stay or switch to face-to-face instruction. This will be for next semester, which starts January 25th. You can submit a form through the parent portal online. A very